Hi all, welcome back to more Unconditional Surrender. This is training scenario 4, this will be my part 11. The playthrough ready to start March 1940. Remember, this scenario only runs till December of 1940. So yeah, we're going to have to get moving sometime soon, right, into March. Is the weather to check? There is a slim chance, and I mean a slim by the row of a 1, I think, of getting fair weather in the zone that matters. As we can see, March, yeah. So we need a 1. We've decided we're not going to go for Denmark, for Norway on the poor weather roll, so we're just going to have to hang it out. I don't suppose there's much point trying to go into the Netherlands and Belgium as well, is there? It will be a bit, it is a bit tight if you have to leave it till July though. If you got unlucky and left it to July, mind you, July's not that far away, Grant. And then just do everything July, August, September. But then again, you get 3 months to do that, and then you go back to the poor weather again. So you've got to make sure that it happens in the 3 months. Huh? Right, anyway. We shall get our weather dice ready, and maybe we might get a green 1. So here we go. Oh, close to it. A 2, but not quite good enough. So a 5 there, a 2 there, and a 3 means, well, we know that it means it's not fair weather in the mild zone. So it is March, yeah. So it's severe in the wet zone, cold zone. It's poor in the mild zone, which is just the same as it was before, and it's poor in the warm zone as well, which adjusts slightly. So yeah, I want to say that that's probably just gonna. We could excuse me. Yeah, we could almost just cycle right through the turn now then, couldn't we? Right through the month, if we're not willing to do anything. The western side of things are happy the way they are at the moment, just waiting. There's not much more they can do. We've got everything in position. The only thing we want to knock some of these sorties down, I suppose. That's something that we can do, but not much more than that. Feels a bit rubbish. I mean, can we just maybe not go into Netherlands? Then again, that's when, as soon as we step into Netherlands, the West invaded thing triggers, and that's when we get factory losses. And yeah, I think we just want to wait until the weather. That's I don't know if that's stupid or not. So I'm going to stick by my guns with that. So we're not going to declare war. I'm going to set the economy back to what it should be, 28, because there's a couple of steps obviously we can still do. The French spent something that time, didn't they? They've got 16 and the British have 18. And the Germans have 28. And the Hungarians have 1, but that's fine. So I've reset that. Strategic warfare, there's not any strategic movement. We used strategic movement the last time, so that can come off. I don't think we're going to have the need for it this turn. No, let's just move on. Right, operations. Well, is there any of these? I mean, these are all set, I think. Well, this guy needs to be flipped over. But I don't think so. Might be good to have a guy in that hex there, I suppose, because moving into that hex, well, mind you, you're moving down the transport line. So yeah, maybe move this guy into here. Yeah, that would have cost me a point. Well, let's do that. And like I said, nothing else really needing moved. Nothing for the western side to move. Replacements, the Axis are going to spend 4 points in total. 3 on reducing that to 1 sortie. And then 4th point, flipping that guy to full strength. And if we do this and we don't get the weather next turn, we're probably just going to be doing nothing at all. Well, we'd get that sortie off, I suppose. So that was another 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing else to do. Nothing for the British or the French to do. And replacements. No upgrades. Nothing to mobilise. Diplomacy. There's a political success and an area seized. Nothing really that freaks the Germans out about drawing, really, anymore. And if they put something back in, I think they're just going to draw out. They might get that political success, you never know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're down to 18 points. So we'll shuffle. And then we'll go for that one. Right, so area C. So as what happened, my mistake the last time, it's not me that gets to decide that. Although they're running out of options now, aren't they? In fact, I think they've only got one more that's safe. And then the last 2. Yeah, Karelia and Bessarabia are the 2 that give the German the pro-Axis marker. However, they still have Estonia. So they'll take Estonia. And yeah, that's that. Oops. That's that. So they take Estonia. But interestingly, the Soviets are going to put one back in the cup now, aren't they? So over to the Western faction. Yeah, they might as well draw, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5. Because the Soviets are going to put an area seized and an ON marker back in the cup. So the Western faction draw a political success. How about that? So they get to pick something. There's nothing that they can take away of ours now. So that's the thing. Couldn't they target Norway and cause us trouble here? No, not really. I don't think so. I mean, if they target Norway and then if they got the other success before we invade it, we can still invade it, I think. Yeah, I don't think there's any point in that then, is there? Because they know that we're going to invade it and then it'll become part of the Allied. It'll be allied to the Western faction. You know what? I'll put it in Spain. The problem is Spain's right underneath all these play raids. So I'll put it in Spain. We've got 1 in Spain. I should remember that. But remember, you need 3 in Spain to be able to trigger it. Right, and then the Soviets are going to... There's 2 area seized there. They're going to grab an area seized and an ON and put that back in the cup. That's what they do in their action. And that's it. That's diplomacy. No victory check. End of turn. That was kind of quick. And we move on to April. Nothing to bring down from there. Nothing to put from eliminated to mobilisation. So we'll just push on into the April turn with the weather. Now, did it change any? Yeah, April is based on what March was. So they were poor. Yeah, no, I think there's a slightly better chance. Is it a 1 to 2 now we need, maybe? So in the cold zone, it was severe. So we're going to be rolling on, March was severe, April we're going to be rolling on that. And in the mild zone it was poor, so we're going to be rolling on that. No, it's still a 1 you need. Still a 1. It's really May's a better chance. And then in the fair zone it was poor as well. So we're rolling in that column. Right. Let's see if we can get this 1 this time. Oh, we have. Look at that. Right, so 1 there, 1 here, and 5 here. And it's just as well we didn't get fair. Well, if we got a fair last turn, yeah, if we'd got a fair last turn, we would have done stuff, wouldn't we? Because if it had been fair, a 1 would still have been poor here, but well, we didn't. So it's going to be so this was severe, and we got a 1, so it's now poor. It's a cold zone, and this was poor the last time, and we got a 1, so it's fair. That's the one that matters. And then the warm zone is a 5, and it was poor, so it stays poor. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we are going to be able to get to do stuff this time. So, see, is there any issue in me invading the Netherlands and Belgium, and then wait until the weather gets better again for France? I feel like there must be something preventing me from doing that, or something causing trouble with me doing it that way. I mean, in the training scenarios, the first one is you take Poland. The second one is you take Denmark and Norway. The third one is you take the Netherlands, Belgium, and France all in a winner. I know it's going to trigger the West invaded, so I think maybe that's what all I need to look at, maybe. I think I'll get this out of my tablet as well. I did say I was going to, I think I said earlier, that I was going to print out the rule book today, but after Sal making a comment that he is hoping to get another revision of the rule book done, probably by the end of this month, I mean, okay, that's a little bit away, and of course there's no guarantees, it might get delayed further that. But I suppose he's trying to help me out by saying, look, maybe wait, because if you want to print it out, wait until we've done that next revision, and then you don't want to. I didn't want to print it out, and then a couple of weeks later having it print it out again. But he did mention the errata, and I think I spoke about the fact that it's not quite so easy to go through. Not for me anyway. So I think I'll just persevere just now. I mean, it's not a huge big thing. I mean, the thing about the digital version as well, it's got the rules in there hyperlinked, is that the right word? Where you press on the rule, you know, there's an example, C invaded conditional event 13.3, and it's in brackets. You just click on that and it'll take you to that rule. I mean, that side is really good. What is it I'm looking for? West invaded. These are conditional events, right? Okay, I'm at that bit. Are these conditional events? Or is it policies? No. Yeah, there's East invaded. And the Mediterranean crisis. West invaded. Yeah, I think they're in alphabetical order, Grant. Yeah, none of this looks like it's in blue anyway. So this event occurs, well, hang on. Might as well look at it together. Okay, so West invaded. This event occurs first time. I know I've went over this before, but I want to just double check it again. This event occurs first time either the following happens. This event can occur only one time in a scenario. An axis unit or marker attacks into, moves into, or is placed in Belgium, Netherlands, Ireland, or the mainland area of France or the UK. Or the other option is if the USA activates as a Western country. That would trigger the Western invaded conditional event. If this event occurs in a phasing Axis factions operation phase, perform the following in an order listed at the end of that Axis operations phase. So that's what's going to happen. So we are going to have our full operations phase before it actually triggers. If it occurs at any other time, performed at the end of the next assets operation phase that is played. Okay. Example. Right. Okay, so they're going to get an air unit. That's one big thing. So we're going to take one French air unit from its faction cards conditional box and mobilise it as per mobilisation. This does not cost production points. Okay, the unit is at full supply, but it doesn't say that it doesn't come in, it still comes in with 4 sorties then. Or it would sure say that, because anything that comes in mobilised, air units come in with 4 sorties. Air and naval units come in with 4 sorties on them, don't they? So that would be bad, yes. And if we just went into the Netherlands and Belgium and just sort of sat there for a bit until the weather got better again, wouldn't you be as well just going into France now though anyway? And the thing is, I now know I don't actually need to say the words, or I don't need to declare war on France. Right now I would need to declare war. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm going to declare war on Norway. And what I'm wondering here is, do I declare war on the Netherlands and Belgium as well? And maybe just leave it at that. And we don't need to wait for the next declare war phase to attack France, because they're an active country anyway. Okay, so they would get an air unit. And by the time we came into France, it would probably be at its full its fresh sorties, wouldn't it? So that's a slight downside. Whereas if we'd done it when we were going into France, we could probably target it and knock it out, unless they, of course, kept it far enough away, which might make sense as well. Anyway, what else happens? Commonwealth Trade. Take the Commonwealth Trade marker from its faction cards conditional box and put it 6 turns later on the turn track. Right, we need to know the relevance of that. Lend Lease to UK. If the East Invaded event has occurred, well, it's not, take the Lend Lease to UK markers from their faction cards conditional box and put them 6 turns later on the turn track. If the East Invaded event has not occurred, put these markers 12 turns later on the turn track. Well, there's no point in doing that. I know it says I did say in the scenario training instructions that if anything is to get placed beyond December 1940, put them on the track anyway, but they're not going to get used. I get that for learning purposes. I'm not going to bother with that, but they would go a whole year ahead, so they would come in April. If we'd done it now, they'd come in April 1941, which is beyond the scope of this scenario. Right, sorry. Just try to hit the pause button before I start coughing, because I know it's annoying. I'm watching back some of that and thinking that's not very nice, Grant, but it's difficult, when you get that cough and it itches away and tickles away, and not much you can do about it. So that wouldn't matter. We're going to check, Commonwealth Trade, and then the policy evaluation. If the appeasement or Nazi-Soviet pact policy is in effect, well, appeasement isn't, but Nazi-Soviet pact is, and the policy evaluation marker is not on the turn track, put that marker 13 turns later on the turn track. So again, that's something that would go beyond the scope of the scenario. And I know that one is a trigger to end these policies, possibly end the policies before you want them to, or before you've done anything to end them. It says there, Germany has 1 year to feel secure on its other front. Yeah, so when we're invading the West, we've got 1 year now before we need to worry about the East. Because there's a chance that the policy evaluation is a die roll, and it might remove the Nazi-Soviet pact policy, enabling the Soviets to come and have a word with the Germans, I think. And then strategic warfare. Take the UK factory loss marker from its faction cards conditional box and put it in the on-map factory count tracks 1 box. Also, if the German factory loss marker is not in the on-map factory count track, take it from its faction cards conditional box and put it in the 1 box. So that would happen as well, and then we would enter strategic warfare every turn from then on in. So Commonwealth trade. So it goes 6 turns. It goes 6 turns away on the turn track. What it does is, without me bothering to go to the, I'm in the rule. Well, hang on, 15.6. Hang on. So there it's there, Commonwealth trade. So it would go 6 months ahead. This represents increased trade from Commonwealth countries. This marker is put in the turn track due to the West invaded conditional event. Okay, and it goes 6 turns ahead. When this marker is removed from the turn track, put it on the extra factories tracks 3 box on the Western faction card. If on the extra factories track, add a number of factories to the UK factory count equal to the box occupied by the marker. So it would give them an extra 3 factories. So yeah, that's pretty good, but I mean, the UK have only messing about with a few units. Okay, they're not going to have issues with, replacements, but or diplomacy for that matter. But it's not a huge big deal, is it? So I think the one thing, the major thing that's annoying about that is the air unit, isn't it? Now, well, here's the other thing that I'm not getting. It's been spelled out to me that France are an active country from the start, so you can't declare war on them. And for instance, Belgium and Netherlands, they're not active, they're neutral countries. We have to say, and that's the step we're at the moment, we've done the weather phase, we're at the declare war phase, that's why I'm going through all this. I have to say that I'm declaring war on Belgium, Netherlands and Denmark. I don't with France. So the fact that I don't with France, it's not a big deal. I don't need to wait on the next declare war phase, like I've said. But I don't really see the problem in us doing this. But what could be the case here is, I mean, can't this French unit decide to cross the border into Germany? Can't it come in here and attack? Like, let's just say, I know it's foolish, but can't it do that at the moment? And this is, I think, what I was looking for was when this West invaded conditional event triggers. Does it need to wait for us taking the step into there before it can do that? And I'm not reading anything there that says that. Now, the thing is, we know that France can't declare war, because France can't declare war on Germany, can they? Because of the Nazi-Soviet pact. Is that right? Yeah. Why that's got to do with what that's got to do with the French, I'm not quite so clear on. I'm sure all these are quite clear in the rules, but it's just some of these bits I have difficulty with. So the fact that France can't declare war on Germany, does that mean then they're not allowed to move into Germany? That makes some sense, but I don't think it matters. It makes any difference. I don't think it changes anything by me moving in this unit in the Netherlands. Well, declaring war in the Netherlands and then moving this unit in. I don't think that enables France to do anything different. But if it does, then please let me know what I'm missing there. The only thing it is going to do that at the end of my operations phase, they're going to end up with another air unit, which is bad. It's bad for the Axis. So maybe that is the reason not to do it until you're ready to go for France, so that you get a full swoop. Well, here's the other thing. There's nothing to stop me going in, taking the Netherlands, taking Belgium, taking Denmark, and then carrying on into France before the end of the operations phase. You might say, well, are you going to have all the force to do that? Well, maybe not, but plus a couple of, one of my infantry units is away taking Norway, isn't it? So, and one of my air units, for that matter. Yeah, that's another point. That air unit's going to be up there as well, isn't it? Okay. Right, well, yeah, again, Grant, it's a training scenario. The designer did make a comment and say, don't worry about if you're not grasping everything and getting all the rules correct and that. I had to remind him about who I was and and how the rules are very important to me in these games. Well, I didn't so much say that, but I did say that I'm a stickler for the rules. I like get rules right. That's what I thrive on. That's what I get my enjoyment out of these games. And yeah, no, I'll not go down that road. That's what I like. I like to get things right, I suppose. So whether that is wrong, it's just the way it's in me that way. It's in me. So it is. I know some of you don't bother, and you're playing, in particular if you're playing a solo game, and if you're getting rules wrong and you're enjoying yourself, that's fine. That's fine. I like to maybe, if I'm watching any of them, maybe point out things that I see that are wrong. And sometimes it's... Yeah, I made some comments recently and felt like I maybe overstepped a little bit because there was quite a few things I picked out, and then started making myself feel a bit bad about it. Maybe I shouldn't have, felt like I'd maybe overdone it, but I wasn't. I was only pointing out things that were done wrong, but it still made me feel like I had interfered with enjoyment of the game. So yeah, okay. But I don't mind. I don't mind somebody telling me when I'm getting things wrong, because I want to get it right. And I don't want to show these videos and other people playing the videos and think, oh right, so you do that, and then they go off and play their game and they're playing it wrong because I was playing it wrong and they watched me, and etc. Right, anyway. Okay, we're going to declare war on Norway. We're going to declare war on Norway, we're going to declare war on the Netherlands, we're going to declare war on Belgium. Because I need to state that in this step right now, don't I? So with that, I then bring out the counters, don't I? Yeah, I think you have to, Grant. Okay, give me a sec then. Right, so I've put the world markers for Belgium, the Netherlands, they both start at 2. That was the one that was the misprint. It's on the back of the counter, actually. It's got 3 that starts at, but it should be 2. And Norway's 3. And I can't find the production marker for Norway, so don't know where it is. It should be here, but I can't seem to come across it. They still start with 1 factory, although their national wall is 3. So all Netherlands, Belgium and Norway are all got production at 1. Again, when these start, I assume they must be given at 1, because we're past the... No, you're not, Grant, you're talking rubbish. Yeah, did I not do this before? We're not at the economy phase yet. We're not at the economy phase. So I'm talking rubbish. This is us just declaring war. And that's obviously why it's done that way, so that then they'll produce some production and whatever. Right, so we've got some units to place. So for Norway, there's 2. Like I say, they're both garrison units. That's them there. So I know that we want to have 1 in Oslo. So that's the we'll make it the first army. First army's in Oslo, and it doesn't really matter where the other one is it? Because if we take Oslo, then that's game over for them. So, as if I put it behind, it means he can't retreat. It doesn't matter if he retreats, so anyway, because if he retreats, we move into Oslo. Not their... Oh, they've got 3 will. Oh no, but that's a capital, Grant. Yeah, that's a capital, so it takes 4. It'll take 4 away. Yeah, I was forgetting that. So I don't really think it matters where we place them. And if for some reason the amphibious assault fails, then we can activate this guy and maybe move him down to Stavanger if you wanted, or Bergen. That's it. Okay, so that's them, and then we've got the Netherlands unit is also garrison unit. So yeah, I mean, I guess we've got to put that in Amsterdam, haven't we? Because am I right in saying that we can move from there to there along that strait? See, I'm not sure about that. But then why is it there? Is that not for just naval movement? I don't know. Can I attack from there to there? I can from there to there. I think you want to be down here anyway, but maybe go and have a little look into that. And then we've got, this is a full strength unit the Belgians have. Yeah, I'm going to put it in Brussels, I guess. That is their capital. But they've only got 2 will each, so I mean, if we take Rotterdam, that collapses. If we take Antwerp, that collapses. So, but if they're both there, we can't move from there to there, or from there to there for that matter. Yeah, I think that's right. Actually, I mean, in the training scenario, they actually have this unit in here and that unit in there. That does actually make a bit more sense, doesn't it? Because it allows them to retreat into... I mean, you could have that there, but that's a rough hex, so it means that an attack into there in the rough hex allows them to retreat either into Antwerp or Brussels, and then the second attack's got to be into a city, so it kind of makes sense. That one's having to come across the river. Yeah, okay, we'll put them like that then, because that's obviously whether it's this historical setup or it's just how they've got it in the book here. So, right, we'll go with that. Yeah, I'm not sure about this strait thing, because when it says that you can move across a strait, when we moved down that bit, there's a transport line. But if that transport line wasn't there, I'm assuming I could still move from there to there, and it would just cost me the extra +2 because of the strait. It does say there a straight hex side. Well, that hex side there is crossed by that strait, so, and that's the same there. So I think we could move from there to there and attack from there to there, I think. Obviously, I can't move from there to there while that unit's there, so there's not an issue in leaving Amsterdam exposed, and it allows us a retreat into there. However, hold on. That works, because if I put a German unit there, I can still retreat in... Well, hold on. You can still retreat into a friendly city anyway, no matter what. Doesn't matter if it's got zone of control or not, does it? Yeah, forgot about that one. Hopefully I haven't missed that one. Yeah. If you're... Because you wouldn't be classed as isolated, but come the retreat, if we had a German unit in there... I don't think this one counts because it's got a water hex side between, but then again the strait might override that. But I'd always be able to retreat into a friendly city. even though if it was zone of control. You know, if there was a German unit there, I would be able to retreat into there. Well, the other thing is you've got to also move 1 hex away from the unit that's attacking. So if there was a German unit there for some reason and it was attacking there, I would not be able to retreat into there. I would have to retreat back if I could. Right, let's get on with things, Grant. You're being a bit sluggish now. Right, so that was declare war. So we've declared war on the 3 countries. So economy, we're going to move across and deal with economy. These are going to get 1 each, and just remember that Norway's got 1 as well. Like I say, I can't find the counter for it. So, the French are on 16, so they're staying the same. The British are on 18. That's it. The Hungarians are on 1. The Germans are on 14 factories, so 28. And remember, this West Invaded event is waiting to trigger, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to be dealt with until the end of the Axis operations. Okay, so moving on. Strategic warfare. No, not quite. We'll have that next turn then. Strategic movement. No. Don't need anything. Right, into operations. Right, let's deal with let's go for Norway first then. So the weather's fair. I've got to remember that the weather, well, there's a blue dotted line up there though. It's just north of the Worry, because that's actually poor weather up there, isn't it? But that's not going to affect us. So let's see if I can do this right. First of all, I want to drop that airdrop marker. Right? So that air unit is within 3 hexes of... Let's get zoomed in a little bit better. Can I get a wee bit closer? I can jump in there as long as I'm careful. Right, so first of all, we're going to drop the airdrop marker into Oslo. And that's going to give him a -2 if he's attacked. And it needed to be within 3 of that air unit. Okay, right, that's that done. Then I'm going to place... I'm going to come back a little bit. Zoom out a little bit. I'm going to place our surprise attack marker in C-Zone 12, which is here. And then... right, so now I'm going to activate the Norway unit, Nor unit. It's beside the convoy, so we activate that for 1 production point. And then we're going to carry out an amphibious assault. Into C-Zone 12. Now you don't declare yet where the hex is. Actually, this doesn't move, Grant. This doesn't move. Right, so we're going to move it. We're going to trace, we've got to trace the path that we're going to take. So a path that we're going to take is into C-Zone 12. We don't need to declare the hex that we're attacking yet, that we're going to yet. So I suppose technically we could go to Gothenburg, couldn't we? I suppose we could. But we put an airdrop marker in Norway and Oslo, the capital of Norway, so kind of looks kind of obvious. So the Western faction would now have the chance to intercept, but there's nothing that they can use to intercept as far as I'm aware. So we now declare the hex that we're going to amphibiously assault. It's going to be that. Now hold on, no, stop. I forgot about my surface action, haven't I? I think that needs to be played as well. So basically, we have an escort with us as well. Don't particularly need... we don't need it for the escort side of things, but it gives us a +2 because we're carrying out an amphibious assault at the end of it. You know, if we were just moving from A to B here, we wouldn't really need to use that if we knew we weren't getting intercepted. If there's a chance of getting intercepted, we would want that with us, because that might then, I think it sort of gives you an extra shot at maybe making it, because the interception has to get through your escort before it then gets at your convoy, before it then stops the operation. Something along the lines. Right, so now we declare our target as being Oslo. So yeah, none of this moves until we carry out this. Now, if it does succeed, we would then move it all up into Oslo. We would have the option of moving the convoy back, but we need to be able to trace supply for the unit that's moving into Oslo. So yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But rebases for. Yeah, but you need to take control of that first as well, don't you? Because the idea is to get the air unit over into one of these ports, but we need to take the aim as well. And I suppose this is where the British could mess about with you and come into Stavanger or Bergen. Yeah. I think we're keeping things simple though. So we're doing all that, and now we're going to carry out this amphibious assault. Let me just get the rule up. Hang on. Okay, so just wanted to just double check that, I suppose, and just quite run through here. Amphibious invasion. This rule is long, but do not let that scare you. There is also an extensive example at the end. You may want to set it up on the map and walk through it to get a better feel for the rule. The example is really good. It's worthwhile going to look at. So it says a phasing ground unit stacked with a convoy can activate to invade a coastal hex that contains or is adjacent to a friendly or enemy port with amphibious invasion range 6.3.2.2. Which we'll just jump to shortly. A friendly port can be invaded as a way to get more troops there quickly. In addition, the invaded hex must be in a sea zone containing a friendly surprise attack marker. And if the invaded hex has no port, at least one adjacent port must also be in that same sea zone. I'm not going to look at the example. The invaded hex can contain an enemy unit or enemy zone of control. Well, we've got an enemy unit. After the phasing faction activates the ground unit, activates the convoy and any escort, we using the surface action marker as our escort. So these units need to have at least 6 sorties. Well, convoy didn't have any sorties, and the surface action it starts with no sorties as well. The end declares it's performing an amphibious invasion. It does not, however, declare the invasion hex at this time, like I said. This is so the non-phasing faction must choose to intercept while the invasion force is tracing a naval movement path, but without the knowledge of the final destination. It then traces a naval movement path from the activated units to the sea zone containing the invasion hex and surprise attack marker. There's no physical movement on the counters. They remain in their hex. When the path has entered the sea zone containing the invasion hex, the phasing player declares that hex. After all interceptions against the activated units are resolved, if the amphibious invasion is not aborted, see amphibious invasion resolution. So there's some prohibitions. Cannot contain a friendly ground unit. Cannot be affected by severe weather. So a coastal hex without a port cannot be invaded if that coastal hex in each port is adjacent to a prohibited hex site. It gives you an example there. I won't go into too much detail. A naval unit cannot be involved in more than one amphibious operation. The path traced to the invasion hex cannot cross a strait unless at least one of the strait's hexes contains a friendly city, fort, or unit, and neither of its hexes contain an enemy city, fort, or unit. I think this is what somebody, Mike, the counterattack playthrough series, when he went this way, and this is Season 12, but this is Season 13. No, that's separated, isn't it? These straits mean that this is 13 and this is 12. So that's why you can't go that way. It's not really about going through the straits. But you can, however, move into 12, because he's only allowed to move through one sea zone, I believe. So yeah, that was fine. But I mean, it still was fine what he was doing. It's just he was doing it the wrong direction, if you like. And the range, well, here's the range here. The Axis or Soviet factions can invade the hex in the C-zone containing the activated units. This is the one that the Western factions see. They get 2 C-zones. So the Axis and Soviets can only do it in that C-zone. And then, well, like I just said, the Western allow to jump another C-zone. If it's aborted, that basically everything goes back. Yeah, if the invasion escort unit suffers, and that's if the escort unit, that's actually if it's intercepted. So the resolution, if an invader's division is not aborted, do the following. If there is no ground unit in the invasion hex, put the phasing ground unit in that hex. And I think this is what I was trying to see if I could do to avoid defeat in the combat, is to find a hex that was adjacent to the port that I could land in, and then at least if I didn't take the port, I would still be across there and landed. But then I wouldn't be able to leave my naval unit there because we wouldn't have taken the port. So anyway, it didn't look like I could do that. So if it's not in an enemy zone of control, it may move into adjacent hex and its activation ends. But if the invading ground unit is in an enemy zone of control, it must either end its activation or immediately resolve an assault against an enemy ground unit in an adjacent hex. Well, we're not even that, we're this one here. If there is an enemy ground unit in the invasion hex, it must immediately resolve an assault against that unit. Note the invading ground unit is still in its original hex at this point, so it is not exerting an enemy zone of control into or around the defending hex. Okay, interesting. If the assault does not clear the hex of the defender and the invading ground unit survives, its activation ends. Since it has not moved yet, it stays in its current hex. So if it fails to retreat this unit, it's going to stay where it is. If it clears the hex, the phasing ground unit must be put in the defending hex, even if attacked by other units, and its activation ends. I'm not going to read the Mulberry, but naval units, after the invading ground unit's activation ends, and the phasing faction must either leave all invading naval units in their current hex or put them in a port taken by the invading ground unit in the hex, just containing a just placed Mulberry marker. Yeah, so they're going to go into the port, or they can stay where they were. You would add sorties. You would add one sortie unless it was attacked. If it was combat, it adds sorties as it's doing it. Right, I think that's it. I think we don't want to read too much more into that. Right, well, we've done all that we're going to do, so we just need to know how the combat's going to go then. Right, sorry, phone call. Were we about to start combat? I think so. Yeah, okay, let's do it. So remember, we've got air support, we've got an airdrop marker, we've got, well, that doesn't do anything, and we've got the surface action marker. So they're all things that, well, we counted up the numbers recently, didn't we? In fact, did I not do that to check last turn? Yeah, I did, because I wanted to know if it was feasible to do it in the poor weather. Right, sorry about the glare there, but it's over there, and it's not important, that bit just now anyway. So what are we doing? Yeah, we're looking at the numbers. So right, well, did that not work out as a +4 then, innit? If I want to just jump ahead, it's +2 for being German. Right, +2 for being German. That's an infantry unit. The reduced strength bit is relevant to him though. He's going to get a -2 because they are. It's not a tank unit. It's not isolated. Now, no, it's not. It's not in poor weather. So, and remember, that should be a -1. No, it's fair weather, so that's good. It is in a city, so a -1 for that, taking us down to +1. And then we're going to get air support. So, and they can't intercept us. So I'm just going to put the sortie on the aircraft now. So it's up to 2 sorties. Just doing that off camera. they don't have any air to intervene with that. So that gives us another +2, so that's +3. And then we move down, it's a wee bit fiddly to see this, and I'm down at the bottom here. And then we move further down. There's no additional attackers, because this is an assault attack, but there's no additional attackers. But you could have, if for some reason you had another unit adjacent there, you could use that as well. But this is relevant. So attacking a unit in any hex, this is an amphibious invasion assault, then is a -1 to that. So yes, we are going to get that, taking us down to +2. And then the reason we brought our surface action with us is we're getting +2 for naval support attacking unit of coastal hex affected by fair weather. So it does indeed leave us on a +4. And then for the Norwegians, no modifiers except for the reduced strength. I still don't have my fancy dancy dice yet. So I think I ordered them for somewhere that like takes ages to deliver. It was very little money, but I wasn't in a mad rush, but kind of wish I had them now. So we've got a -2 for the Norwegians and a +4 for the Axis. So, and all we need is a DR result, but however, we still need that DR result. It feels like these modifiers are enough. I'll leave the 2 there. Hopefully you'll realise that it's a -2. Well, hopefully I realise it's a -2. And that's us. We're good to go. Good to roll some dice. Okay, here we go. So, for the invasion of Norway, the grey dice is the Axis. Right, that's pretty good, and I think that should be alright. Just going to have a little look here to see if this was, like, failable. That's not a word, is it? Right, so 6 + 4 is 10. 4 minus the 2 is 2. The result is D. So it was a very easy sort of... so he's just going to be straight up eliminated. That's my battery again. Just wondering there then. So, right, the unit's eliminated. Let's just say that these were the results. A 1 and a 6 for him, so it'd be a 5 against a 4. Yeah. I think that's the only result that we could get, though, that would fail, wasn't it? Because if we got a 2... be a 6 against a 4 for a retreat. So yeah, I mean a 6 and a 1 there. 6 for them and a 1 for us, and that would have been a failure. But I mean, yeah, what's the chances? Well, it can happen. Okay. So, I forgot about the airdrop as well. Right, so it was impossible to fail them. Yeah. Because they rolled the 4 there, so they would have been on a 1. And the least we could have ended up with was a 5. Yeah, it was. There's no way you could fail that in fair weather then. Okay. So this has been used. Right, we'll get around to that in a second. This guy's eliminated. I'll just put him down the side just now because it's going to collapse. This is going to go back in the turn track as well, along with hopefully the airdrop marker. And then the unit and the convoy are going to make their way up and take Oslo. Oh, and while I'm getting a control marker out here, I'm going to get an extra one. Because one thing I forgot, can I just swing around and get that just now, was that when we took Warsaw, I never marked it with control. And remember that any of these cities, I mean, I think we've got them all now, because that's all in the eastern Poland area. But if there is any cities left over once the country collapses, is conquered, they're still under... Well, they're still under the control of the... they're still part of the country's control. It costs you 2 movement to move in them. You don't have control of the country yet. Whereas, I think up here, if I don't go and get Stavanger, I think it enables the British to maybe land there easier, because it's not. I could have that wrong. I could have it wrong, but right. Sorry, another phone call, I'm afraid. So where we're at, we've got the surface action marker back here, airdrop marker. This has been used as well, right? So we've got 3 of them to deal with. I've put the sortie on the air unit. The convoy, we're going to leave that here as well. Oh yeah, I need the control. Oh, that's a control marker there, Grant. Oh yeah, I was away down putting a control marker on Warsaw, wasn't I? So we've taken control in Norway. That's the capital. So it knocks 4 national will from them. They've only got 3. So they are going to collapse and be conquered. So I've got these 2 Norway units here. I'm going to put the stretch across there at an angle. I'm going to put the national will in Norway into that conquered box, and I'm going to put the 2 units away. They'll go in there. And well, I couldn't find the production marker, so yeah, there's no point in hunting that down. I don't know what's happened to that one. Hopefully we come across it. And then, so conquering a country, Germany get 2 national will, don't they? Not production grant, national will. So they were on 49, so they're on 51. There's a pro-axis marker goes in the cup. I'll put that in there, and then we can also put a pro-axis marker in a country that's adjacent. I mean, the only country that's, well, not the only country, but well, actually, is it? Sweden's adjacent to Norway, but what was the other condition again? Does it not have to be also adjacent to Germany, this one? Can't remember, actually. Give me a second. Oh, yeah, I had to come and look at the rules. We take also one of them, put in the eliminated units box. Take 1 German ground unit from its faction card, conditional box, put in eliminated unit, eliminated box. Increase national will by 2, done that. It wasn't Italy, it's not Poland. Actually, I think that's it, is it? It's not France. No, hold on. I've missed a bit. Put a friendly pro-faction marker in the diplomacy cut, and then applies a restricted political success event 1412. That's a good thing about this. I just clicked on that link and off we go. So it's restricted. So in addition to the shared land border, there must also be a shared land border with a just conquered country. So it needs to have a shared land border with an active friendly country and a shared land border with Norway. With an active friendly country. I don't think that works for us then, does it? Because I think I did decide that Sweden wasn't. I mean, I don't know if this counts. I don't think it does, because I'm sure that's the one that the designer pulled up in the video, but the guy explained that he'd done it from when he took Norway, because he had thought that he'd done it shared from that border, but that doesn't count. So, and this is only a country that's friendly. This is an active friendly country. Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I don't think I get a result there. Let me know if I'm getting that one wrong, and possibly that these straits do connect Denmark and Sweden by land. Because if that was the case, then Sweden is adjacent to a friendly country, and it's also adjacent to the just conquered country, and we would be able to put a pro-Axis marker into Stockholm. But I don't think we can, so I'll leave it at that. So that's everything done. That's the NOR unit. Now that's finished its activation as well. Oh, the convoy needs a sortie as well. Yeah, so the convoy needs a sortie for carrying that out. I'll leave that like that just so I can see it, remember it's there. And we're going to leave that there because we need to trace supply. Actually, no, I'm assuming I can't trace supply. It's this wee bit here though, isn't it? This is all connected by transport from Copenhagen, but from there to Malmo, it's like that's a crossing of water. So I don't think I can trace my supply across that way. Even if I took Gothenburg and Malmo, if I wandered down there, I don't think I'd be able to go trace supply down there and across there and into Hamburg. I think I could do it, but I need my convoy, is what I mean. Okay, right, that's me got to an hour, and unfortunately my phone's not in a good state for charge, so I think I'm going to... Well, hang on, I've got a surprise attack marker here. So what happens with that? Does it go... No, it doesn't. Let's see what happens with these. So it says surprise attack marker. When removed at the end of the phasing faction's actions subphase, put it in its faction card surprise attack marker holding box. It may be bought back in mobilization phase. And then it tells me 8.3. Well, look at that. That's a good thing about that. You buy a surprise attack marker back, but I think it goes 4 turns ahead on the track when you buy it back, and it costs 20 to buy back. The only thing I'm annoyed about, you know how that hyperlink to there, is there a way of me getting back to where I was? Because if I prick back with my tablet, that doesn't work. So if somebody knows how to do that, if somebody knows that when I click that hyperlink to get me here, is there some quick thing that I can just click to take me back? Somebody knows that one, let me know. Because now I've got to go and find where I was at again. Anyway, so the surprise attack marker goes in the box, surprise attack marker holding box. So I'm putting that in there. And then, interestingly, the airdrop, are we airdrop? There it is there. Now, it rolls a dice there, and when this marker is removed, either after placing a control marker or at the end of the action subphase, roll a die. If the result is 1 to 5, put the marker a number of turns later on the turn track equal to the result. If the result is 6, remove it from the scenario. So if we get a 6 here, then it's not coming back. So the roll for the airdrop marker, 5. Well, that's not good. So it goes 5 turns ahead on the turn track. We're in April, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'll come back in September. And then we've got the surface action one. Let me try and do that just while off camera. I don't know what happens. Does that just, do we roll on that as well? Oh, that gained a sortie as well, didn't it? So it's the sortie plus 1. After it's placed, when its activation ends, put this marker a number of turns later on the turn track equal to its sorties plus 1. Then remove the sorties marker. So it had 1 sortie only, because it only used 1. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So it's going to go 2 turns ahead in the track and come back in June. There we go. I have got another control marker here. Yeah, I've took that control marker away for Copenhagen, haven't I? So I've got one line down here. I think I must have took this one away. We definitely went in and took control of Copenhagen, didn't we? Yeah, I remember doing that. Okay, well that's us, the conquer of Norway, so that went well. But you can see in the fair weather, it's unlikely to fail, especially if you use all what you've got available. The airdrop marker, and the surface action. And not only that, you're knowledgeable that the unit that you're attacking is a reduced unit. So, but the odds were quite different, weren't they? Although I did forget about the airdrop marker, I think, when I was calculating things. So they would have had a -4 to them. So they would have been on a 1. But however, I think in the poor weather, we were going to be rolling on a +1. So still probably a chance of failing there. Okay, I'm at an hour and 5 minutes. I need to charge the battery. So I'm going to just leave that. Well, that unit has finished its activation. And then I'll come back with the next part in a wee bit once this is charged up a little bit more. And we'll go for the Dutch and the Belgians. See how we fare there. And the fair weather of April. Surprising fair weather to get us started. Okay, I'll be back in a bit. Cheers.